So who doesn't want to make a little bit of extra money in 2025? That is what we're going over today. The easiest and most simple ways to make more money with your photography this year. Now, the information in this video can be applied to someone who is a complete amateur looking to make maybe an extra 50, $100 a month, or someone who is more of a professional and looking to optimize their business and make sure they're taking advantage of all the different money-making opportunities out there. Now, before we get into this topic, I have two quick notes. One is a thank you to our sponsor, Squarespace. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. And two is acknowledging the fact that making any money for yourself, whether you're just an individual, a photographer, someone who has a small business, it is extremely difficult to make money. Everyone online these days is always talking about how simple it is to make money. All you got to do is do this and you make $40,000 a month. I think that's crazy. And one of my favorite quotes is from Scooter Braun. I can't remember what interview this was. I saw this years ago, but if you don't know who Scooter Braun is, he's like a billionaire music tycoon at this point. But years and years ago, he was actually just a guy running around Atlanta trying to fake it until he made it. And then one day he met Justin Bieber. It's actually kind of funny. I know some people who knew Scooter Braun way before he met Justin Bieber, and hearing those stories and seeing where he is now is kind of crazy. But in this interview that I saw with Scooter Braun years ago, he talked about how he thought it was so easy to make money and he thought he was going to be successful quick. And then one day he realized how difficult it actually is to make $5,000. And that has stuck with me whenever I talk about money on this channel or whenever I think about my own business. Making $5,000, if you can do that, is a huge accomplishment. And it's something you should be proud of, and you shouldn't let the internet and all this chatter today take away from your accomplishments. If you are making money as an individual doing something you love, you are winning. And this video is intended to help you do more of that and win more. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. The first way to make more money in 2025 as a photographer is simply having a product available for purchase if you are someone who is trying to grow an audience on social media. If you're someone grinding on social media, creating content, sharing your photography, making reels, making TikToks, don't rely on audience growth as a way to eventually make money. This is a mistake that I made for years early on with YouTube and Instagram. I was growing this audience and I had no way of actually making money. I just thought, hey, if this number gets bigger, eventually more opportunities will come to me. And eventually opportunities did come to me, but the whole time I was growing this audience, I could have had a product out there that allowed me to make money on the side passively. Alex Hormozi, if you know who that is big in the marketing world. He believes that if you have skills and people find you interesting, organically they will go to your products because they want more of the value that you're providing. So if you're a photographer, consider making some type of product. It could be basic presets, it could be some type of photography guide, it could be some type of basic course, it could be something that costs $25, it could be prints, it can be really anything you want. But if you're putting all of this energy into social media, have an option out there for someone to get more value from you, and in turn for that value, they can give you money. So having that link in your bio to your store on social media as you're trying to cultivate an audience can lead to more money through organic sales that you don't even have to be annoying and pitch all the time. Just having it there allows for those transactions to take place, whereas if it's not there, you're just spinning your wheels trying to grow an audience for the hope and dream of eventually getting paid for that audience. Now, the second way you can make more money with your photography in 2025 is to shift your goals from outcome-based goals to process-based goals. Now, an outcome-based goal is something like, I need to make $10,000 a month. It's this goal that has a lot of weight to it, but technically you don't have a lot of control over that. You know, you can try your absolute best to get as many customers as you possibly can to make your $10,000, but at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of control over the exact number. What you do have control over is the process that could potentially lead you to that $10,000. So a process-based goal is something that you have control over. It takes a lot of the overwhelm and stress out of trying to reach your financial goals. So rather than saying, I need to make $10,000 in a month, and every single thing that you post online has the weight of trying to hit that number, every email that you send has the weight of trying to reach that number, you are going to shift your goals to, I'm going to reach out to 10 potential customers every single day. And if at the end of the month you do that and you don't reach $10,000, you know that you need to shift your process. Maybe you need to have a goal of 20 customers every single day, 30 every day that you reach out to. Maybe if you're posting on social media, if you post twice a week, every single week for a month, and you don't reach your goal, fulfill, you now know that your process isn't working towards the outcome that you want, so you shift your process. You try to make your process better. What a process-driven goal does is it allows you to have control over the outcome more than just blanketly taking action, hoping to reach your financial goals. Process-driven goals are something that I think are very beneficial, especially to people who get easily overwhelmed and stressed around making money. If you set targets for yourself of, I'm going to email this many people, I'm going to post this much on social media, you have a much easier time because you're now just focused on one action at a time, and then you can come back and process everything later if you don't get the outcome you want. Now, the third way to make more money as a photographer in 2025 might be the most simple on this list. It requires no work. It's simply you sitting down and adjusting the offer of your business. Now, what we're going to do here is establish a price anchor inside of our pricing model. Now, what a price anchor does is it essentially creates a psychological, not manipulation, but a psychological tool that has your customers looking at your business's offers as a value-based offer versus a price-based offer. Psychologically, you want your customers to look at what you're offering as what is the best deal that I can get, not what is the most expensive and what is the least expensive. So in photography, a lot of service-based photographers, people who are working with clients, typically have a day rate and a half day rate. Maybe their full day is $1,000, their half day is $500. Now, psychologically, what this does to your potential client is they are looking at your offers as a least expensive and most expensive offer. Those are the two options. And a lot of times people will go with the least expensive option. Everyone's trying to save money. If you're a business, you're trying to cut your budget as much as possible so you have money for other things. So the least expensive one seems like the best value because all the value is based on that price. When you establish a price anchor, you are creating a third option for your potential customer. So now they're looking at your prices as a value-driven price. Where am I getting the most value here? So an example of a price anchor, if you're a client-based photographer, would look like this. You would start with your lowest package. What is the easiest thing for you to deliver on? Probably that $500 half day. You want to make sure this $500 offer is something that's so easy for you to fulfill. $500, maybe you get one round of retouching, and maybe it takes 48 hours to get the turnaround time on the photos. That is your basic option, your bread and butter. You know you can do that all the time. The next thing you want to do is establish your home run best offer that you can deliver. What is the offer that you can give to someone that would make you so excited if someone booked it? Maybe it's $4,000 for a full day of shooting. Maybe there's an uptick in the delivery on the photos. Maybe they're getting double the amount that they would normally get. Maybe the turnaround time is 24 hours. Maybe they get 2 rounds of revisions. Whatever you want to call it, you want to make an offer that is your home run, most expensive, crazy offer. Just deliver on everything you possibly can. Now, to establish a price anchor, we need to find something nicely sort of in the middle. We want to lean a little bit more towards that $500 range. We don't want to be exactly in the middle, but we want this to be something that's a little bit more expensive, but something that you feel is the best value for most people. So in our example, let's say a half day is $500, our home run offer is $4,000. If we create a 1-day package where the turnaround time is 48 hours, there's 1 round of revisions, and there's an X amount of deliverables that the client gets, you would price that at $1,250. So when someone comes to your website or they find out about you and they're looking to book you, they now have one offer that seems really cheap, like it's not going to do enough, one offer that seems really valuable because they get so much from it, and then this crazy home run offer that only so many people can afford and you can only fulfill so many of them. So when you have these 3 options, typically someone will lean towards that middle option and you'll be able to make more money as a business. And realistically, if you're already working a half day, it's going to take up your full day anyways. So having people lean towards that full day option with that price anchor is a key to making more money. All you got to do is be strategic about how you're setting your pricing. Now, the fourth way you can make more money as a photographer in 2025 is to simply add a contact me page to your website. I'm literally begging you to do this. This is one of the easiest ways to look more professional to potential clients, and on top of that, charge a higher price based on that professional value that you're just relaying through a website. If you're someone who just has your email in your social media bio, yes, you can get customers and get clients through that email, but having someone go to your website, fill out an inquiry form just feels so much more legit, so much more professional, and it's so easy to do. It will take you literally a couple hours if you already have a website ready. And the reason I'm so big on this is because, one, that professional element, but two, when you have a website form intake, typically your email for that form is going to be something that stands out in your inbox. You're not going to miss as many inquiries if they are coming through your website. And I actually just booked the biggest job that I've had in the last 18 months through the contact me page on my website, evanranft.com. It was a job with Honda at CES 2025, and I don't really know why they went through my website. I have a feeling they saw my portfolio, they looked through my work with Porsche and with Toyota, and they said, hey, this guy would be a great fit. They filled out the inquiry form, and the entire email chain that we had for the project was through that Squarespace inquiry form email that I got. And who knows, maybe I would have seen an email that just said Honda X Evan Ranft, but it's so much easier to catch these inquiry emails when they come through your site. So if you don't have a contact me page, just add it. It's not a lot of extra work, especially if you already have a website. Now, speaking of your website, number 5 on this list is a simple one, but it's to update your portfolio. It's the beginning of a new year. I'm filming this in January 2025. If you haven't updated your portfolio in a while, which I'm saying this right now as someone who has not updated their portfolio, I need to do it before the end of the month. Just sit down and do it. Having your most recent work on your website allows customers to see your latest and greatest, once again allowing you to provide more potential value to them and charge a higher price and make more money. And on top of this, if you have a portfolio that targets the type of customers that you want to work with, you can dial in the quality of that work and make sure that you're portraying yourself as the best professional that you can. And once again, looking like a professional allows you to charge a higher price. So that one's simple. Just go update your portfolio, please. All right, I feel like I got to reset the video a little bit because I'm getting progressively more passionate about this topic as it goes on. And number 6 on this list is arguably the one I'm most passionate about. But if you want to make more money as a photographer in 2025, become an easy solution for your clients. Care about your clients and empathize with the issues that they have. At the end of the day, photography is a B2B type business, meaning you are a business and you're providing a service to another business, and both of you have the same issues. You have budgets, they have budgets. You have timelines and deadlines and you're juggling projects, they're doing the same thing. And typically, if you're working with someone at a big company or maybe a business with multiple employees, the person you're talking to might have a boss breathing down their neck, a boss who is maybe making their life more difficult, and they're just looking for a way to get the project done the way it needs to get done. So be the person who does a good job for them. Make their life easier. By making their life easier, you become a solution to problems in the future. You can get booked for a job, say for $1,000 today, and if you deliver on it, you make that client's life easier. When they have another opportunity for another project, they are going to go to you because you are the easy solution. I can't tell you how many photographers I talk to who are having issues with making money, and they tell me that they're firing off invoices for additional retouches, or they're going back with their clients saying, hey, you went 2 hours over on this shoot. That's going to be an extra $50. Just be cool. Like, you don't have to do all that, because when you do that, you're stepping over $1 to make a penny. Yes, you might make your extra $200 on overtime, but guess what? The person you're working for, they have to go to their boss who's breathing down their neck and get that budget approved. Maybe they're going to go over budget and they're going to get yelled at, but the project has to get done anyways. That invoice you sent for that revision or that retouch that you did could put a lot of pressure on that employee because they're stretching the budget too thin, and you now become a difficult solution to problems. So when those opportunities come up later on, guess what? that person looks at you as, for lack of better words, a pain in the ass. So just be cool and don't step over that dollar to make a penny. I understand having boundaries, and obviously this is a gray area. If a client is completely taking advantage of you, by all means, put your foot down. But for the most part, everyone's just trying to get their work done and operate as a business the same way you are. So be cool, be an easy solution, and it will lead to more money in the future. You might not see it today on the job you're working on, but it's going to come back around. This has been the staple of my entire career. I can't tell you how many people I work with who tell me all the time that they keep coming back to me because they know I'm just going to get the job done. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure they look good at their company and I can make my money. All right, I hope I did a good job on that one of chilling out a little bit and not getting too crazy. But before we continue on with this list, I want to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. They are a huge tool in my business, and they're going to allow you to implement a lot of the tools in this video into what you're doing. You see, Squarespace easily allows you to create a contact me page on your website. I actually have a video on this channel breaking down how I built my website, evanranf.com. It's linked in the description down below under a website resources tab. You can also update your portfolio, and you can do it in a way that's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. I have a video on this channel breaking down how I built my portfolio. It's once again linked in the description down below under that website resources tab. Squarespace also allows you to implement e-commerce into your business, which we already talked about in this video. If you're grinding on social media, having an offer out there for people to potentially purchase is huge. So you could sell photo books like I do, you could sell presets like I do, you could sell video LUTs, you could sell guides on photography. You can basically sell anything on Squarespace, and with Squarespace payments, it's easier than ever to process payments and keep up with your customers. Squarespace also allows you to sell courses. I have a video on this channel breaking down how I built my free course. I'll link that in the description down below as well. And how could we not mention selling prints? I also have a video on this channel breaking down how to sell prints on Squarespace. So you can go to that website resources tab. You can follow along with any of those videos. Take advantage of how easy to use Squarespace is. All of their templates are beautiful. They have something called Fluid Engine, which is drag and drop, making it easy for someone like you and me with no web design experience to build a website. And with all those tutorials, you have no excuse to not get started. So go to squarespace.com/EvanRanf to start a free trial and use code EvanRanf when you're ready to sign up and save 10%. That's squarespace.com/EvanRanf to start a free trial and use code EvanRanf to save 10% at checkout. Big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. So the seventh way you can make more money as a photographer in 2025 is to implement some type of affiliate marketing into your business. Now, if you've been a photographer long enough, you know one of the most common questions you get is, what camera are you using? What lens was this shot on? What laptop do you use? How do you make X, Y, and Z thing? If you have some type of affiliate marketing strategy in place, you can make some side money off of these recommendations. Now, the most basic one is Amazon affiliate. You can sign up for an Amazon affiliate account within, I think, like 30 minutes. I signed up for a different one for my business at the beginning of this year, and it was not a headache whatsoever. But now I can start implementing links into the description on my video. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm adding a gear list on my website so people can download it. They can see all the gear that I use, and they can use one of those affiliate links, and I can potentially make a little bit of a commission. Now, affiliate links aren't just for Amazon. They're for things like music services, website hosting services. There's affiliate links for everything out there. But the beautiful thing about affiliate marketing is, once again, you don't have to do anything. You can post what you're doing on social media. You can run your business how you're running it. And as long as you have an option for people to find the answers to the questions they have about what you're doing, they can click that affiliate link and you can make some extra money. Now, speaking of having extra money in your business, number 8 on this list is reinvesting back into your business so you can make more money. Now, when it comes to reinvesting in your business, there are two main types of investments you want to think about. One is a time investment, spending money to get more time back. This can be something like updating your slow computer or updating your storage system so you can easily find files and get them to clients faster. That is a way to free up more time. Or if you're someone who works on the social media side, you could hire an editor, which allows you to have more time to get out, make photos, and then all of your social media is handled by the investment that you're making. You see, you're freeing up time for yourself by investing in that time. Or you can invest into things like gear strategically. If you think that a certain camera is going to give you a better result, this better result could raise the value of your business and allows you to demand a higher price. Let's say you're someone who's using a crop sensor camera. If you upgrade to full frame, this upgrade in the quality of your photos could allow you to charge a higher price. Same goes with lenses. You want to look at investing as time and value investments. If you're not going to get more time back, or your business is not going to be perceived as more valuable based on your investment, it's not a good investment. But I definitely recommend the time investment. That is a big one. Ever since I updated my computer to something that works a lot faster, I have so much more time to, one, not get burnt out and make sure that I'm taking care of myself, but two, I can work with more clients because I know I have that speed of being able to get the job done quickly, move on to the next client. Now, speaking of value, number 9 on this list is something that a lot of people overlook because it just seems too simple. But if you want to make more money, focus on acquiring new skills to raise your value. This is something I talk about on moderncreativemoney.com, but think of skill acquisition as a pyramid. If you are at the top of that pyramid, that means you have the most skill you could possibly have. And with that skill, you are now scarce. And anything that is scarce has a higher value. Every time you increase your skill level, you get better at what you're doing as a photographer, there are less people out there who can do the same thing you do, thus making you scarce. And when you're scarce, you can ask for more money for the services and value you are providing. So never overlook the importance of just learning new things. I think as artists, we have a tendency to get a little bit complacent and we hit a plateau and think we're good. But once you want to make more money, one of the easiest things you can do is just go back to the drawing board, watch some tutorials, go out and practice, and just try to get better and demand that higher price because you have more value. Now, number 10 on this list, speaking of skill acquisition, is acquiring the skill of video. Now, I don't want this to be a whole thing where I'm saying you got to learn video. I'm saying that video has become a tool that is very valuable in today's world, strictly for marketing, and then you can also add it into elements of your business if you want. But today's social media world is so heavily driven on video. The fact that you already have a camera, you understand lenses, you understand exposure, you understand all the ins and outs of how to make a good picture, not learning the basics of video is just going to hold you back in the long run, both from a social media marketing standpoint, being able to get yourself out there, and when it comes to clients. Being able to add on a small video package can allow you to make a lot more money. That job I did with Honda was primarily photography, but I added a small video package on there and I was able to charge a couple $1,000s more. So just learning the basics of video is something that can help you out and allow you to make more money, both on the marketing side and potentially on the client and service and value side as well. So that right there is everything that I wanted to talk about today. There are 2 honorable mentions on this list. One is working for free strategically. I didn't want to include this in the main part of the video because it's a huge gray area, but if you find yourself in a position where you think you can potentially make money in the long run, but it has to start with relationship building, maybe you need to prove yourself to a potential client, you can offer up your services for free to start, but make sure you're building the relationships and make sure that it's known that you're not going to work for free forever. This is, like I said, a gray area thing, but there are situations where, hey, maybe offering your services for free to just get your foot in the door could lead to money down the line. And the second honorable mention on this list is simply the psychology of making money. You have to believe that you can actually make money and feel like you're worthy to make money. I talked about this in previous videos, so I don't want to go over it too much, but I highly recommend the book, The Mountain Is You. It's a book all about self-sabotage and kind of your mental approach to basically everything in your life. But a lot of us have limiting beliefs when it comes to money, when it comes to our viewpoint of people who are making money, and you got to get rid of those if you want to excel and actually reach the financial goals that you have. But with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. I think this video was pretty long. It took me a while to record it, so hopefully you made it to this point. If you did, hit a thumbs up button, subscribe if you are not yet, and shameless plug, if you want a 4-hour breakdown on everything that I do in my business, how I grew my business, check out moderncreativemoney.com and the Artist Business Blueprint. It's going to go over all of this way more in depth and help you turn your creativity into a business. But with that said, I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch y'all in the next video.